This is the Throstle Club with Norman Bartlam and Bob Downing. Well, hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Throstle Club. This is the programme which looks back on the long and illustrious history of West Bromwich Albion, and we speak to former players and supporters about their memories of our marvellous club, with a particular emphasis on this month in history. Now, alongside me as always is the man who, according to the Sports Argus, had an excellent form rate, but that was back in the day. I'm not so sure about today. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, still brilliant, mate.
Okay, so
I even say outstanding.
well, we'll let the listeners be the judge of that. And what do you reckon to that, Billy?
Well, I've always thought he was outstanding.
Creep. Yeah, so opposites, that's the voice there of Billy Spakeman, who's normally twiddling the knobs, but we can't say that today, can we, Bill?
You can't, no. Well, I could still be twiddling them, but not for you.
Because today we've got a lady twiddling the levers.
Yeah, what you're saying.
Twiddling
Be
the
careful.
lever, twiddling
This
the
is a family
levers.
show. Be careful.
Steady on.
So, do you like to introduce yourself? So, Shona?
Yeah, I'm Shona, and I'm working the desk, shall we say.
That's a very polite way of saying it.
And we've got young Jacob, who's on work placement this week.
Hello
with
to
us,
Jacob as well. Hope you can
Can
join
I just
in
say
as
thanks
well.
to everybody at the Hub, because we went and played the Musketeers the other Wednesday, and it was just brilliant. Except we did make a right... when we played a certain song and the lady at the front went, I don't think so.
It was a song related to a Black Country rival.
It
I
was
think.
apparently.
Yeah, whose name we shan't
It was
mention.
great, so thanks to everybody at the Hub.
Yep. So we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later in the programme. Now, today it's the 36th programme, which means it's happy birthday to us. 3 years.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
3 years and counting.
I wish I was 36.
We act like 3 years old at some stage as well, don't we? Now, talking of birthdays, though, there's a big one coming up. Because 1976, how many years ago is that, Billy?
God knows. 50.
50, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. 50 years ago, Albion got promotion under John Giles.
Oh,
in the
wow.
final match of the season at Oldham. And there's a big Albion dinner coming up to celebrate that soon. And I guess today, know all about it.
Oh, right.
None other than Black Country royalty, Tipton's finest. Well, we couldn't find Tipton's finest, actually, so we've got
So he
Joe
has to come
Mayo.
instead. Yay.
Say hello to
Hello, everybody.
And sitting alongside him, give him a little kick as is necessary from time to time, none other than Ali Robertson.
Yay.
Hello.
So I think you'll agree we've got plenty to talk about on this edition of the Throstle Club. Well, there we are. That's the Brummy Road Choir with the West Brom. And the Brummy Choir was in full force, wasn't it, the weekend?
It was absolutely
Bob?
brilliant.
We're recording this programme on the Monday after the Hull City game at the weekend, and it's the best performance from the Brummy Road for ages, responding to the best performance on the pitch.
Yeah, it was amazing. We're closing up to Easter, mate, and was that a resurrection? I tell you something, that has got to be one of the best displays I've seen all season, if not the best. And it was great to see, and it was great to hear the fans at last, sort of getting right behind the team, which is what we've always been saying, to get right behind them, even when things weren't going so good. Little word out, I heard Tony Bomber Brown on Radio WM on the way home, and it was interesting what he said. Because they were asking, why the sudden transformation, why has everything started to come good again? And he said basically it was all down to the dressing room. But it was the fact that that new coach who's come in, Mr. Gill, he seems to have brought something. He said because Tony said pre-match warm-up, he's never seen the players that animated, as though it really did look like a team working together from the moment they came out for the warm-up. And it showed, and it was lovely to see him. Great to see him going forward, the way they did go forward. Okay, they had the man sent off, and you look at it and think, well, that's probably the first bit of luck we've had all season. But if referees are going to start issuing red cards for that type of thing, then we're going to be down to 5-a-side soon.
Yeah, that's another issue, isn't it? Yeah. So we won't dwell too much on Eric Ramsay. Suffice to say that his robotic style, shall we say, and his textbook way of doing things, sort of a bit Don Harris, I think.
Yeah.
So let's put that behind us and look forward, really. So it is looking up, but there's still enough games just about left, I think, to keep us up.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I mean, we're not down to 50 years ago when we went down to the last match. It's still there. I mean, and you look at the cluster of clubs. Disregard rather Sheffield Wednesday because they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, we know they've gone. Some of those teams are going to get dragged into it. Charlton might think they're safe. Look what's happened to Oxford. 3 wins on the bounce, and all of a sudden, from being almost certain, they've now got more than a big hope of escaping. So let's just wait and see what happens to Leicester and their appeal against the points.
Yeah. So, but it's great to see the players there. So much enthusiasm, so much commitment. And Joe and Ali, you were there on Saturday, weren't you? What do you think?
Yes, for me, that's the best we've seen them play and start a game for all season. All the games before this, we've been so slow starting, but we started as if we wanted to win the game, and that's the first time we've done that in a long time.
So you're obviously encouraged by what you saw?
Oh, by far. If we can carry on with that attitude and the 100% all the players we're putting in and playing as a team, that'll be great for us. That'll be fantastic.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think I don't know why, but I think we looked a lot fitter for some reason on Saturday. We looked as if, we did the hard work, if you like, and did it right till the end. What I did like was the fact that we didn't mess about much at the back, and we found space for the 2 wide men, and we could have had 4 or 5 goals early on in the game, and then as normal we should have conceded, but 2 minutes later we scored a great goal and that put us on the way, and I just think that I think the crowd was stirred up before we even got playing. I think they must have realised that we need to win this today, and they got 10 out of 10 for me. They were man of the match, the crowd.
Yeah.
And they lifted us. And normally when I've been to games, it's difficult to pick a man of the match. But there was however many played, 12, 13 of them, substitutes that came on. They all put in a shift, and they got the result that they deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was great to hear the crowd singing Jimmy Morrison as well, wasn't it? So that would have done his confidence a pound of good because it proved to him that he could do it.
Well, that's the thing that's like Joe says, with the crowd being behind us and being like that and to the manager, and you can see, like we're saying, it looked like the dressing room must have changed completely since this new coach has come in, because everyone has come out wanting to play. And what was great as well, where before everything was going sideways, backwards, passing this, that, whatever, on Saturday everything was going forward. How many lads were going forward, taking people on, whipping the ball into the box, and that showed us that the commitment is there.
Yeah.
And that is a great thing for me. Is once you can show the commitment's there, that's brilliant.
And they weren't afraid to make mistakes as well,
Yeah.
because I think that's been an issue in the past, because the crowd would soon be on the players' backs when things weren't going well. But now, got all that confidence that if they do make a mistake, they can get away with it.
Sorry, no. It seems to me now we've got round pegs in round holes. Everything fits together now. I mean, the wing backs, the midfield, it's gelling.
Well,
and the fact that you score 3 goals, irrespective of whether they got 10 men. Don't forget, we were leading when it was 11 against 11.
Yeah.
And we'd also created 2 or 3 really good chances.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you say, Bob, it's the first time in a long time we actually played as a team. And you could see the positions and everything and the lads and the position they should be in. And that's I can't remember the last time we looked like a team that played together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. So that all goes well for the future. Now, it's a big anniversary today. Not actually Albion connected, but I wonder if anybody remembers this. It's 50 years today, 20th of March 1976. Leicester City 2, Aston Villa 2 was the score.
Yeah. I know.
Any
you're gonna
idea,
ask.
Bob?
Chris Nicholl scored all 4
Yeah,
goals.
Chris Nicholl scored all 4. So, so that's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, God. But do you ever score an own goal? You must have done.
Oh, I wouldn't like to.
Why has it?
But you
Why
don't
must?
remember it.
Why must he have done just because he's
No,
a
to be
centre
fair,
back?
I thought I'd probably have scored more, but I haven't.
Yeah. God, it must have been heartbreaking for him to.
I'll tell you something, he pulled off one of the best saves.
Yes.
Yeah, that penalty save is actually on YouTube's best penalty saves ever.
Oh, great. There we go then. Right, now then, for youngsters, some people may not have seen you play,
Where you're
Joe.
coming, Jacob.
Yeah, and Jacob's in the
Be
corner there,
careful,
Googling frantically, Joe. Mayo, Mayo. Yep, so tell us a bit about your career. Tipton lad, of course, Tipton Town. You didn't really want to be a footballer. You were training to be an accountant, were you?
Yeah, training to be accountant. Yeah. I could only count up to 12. And, I was quite happy doing what I was doing, and there was a guy called Kenny Hodgkinson who was manager at Dudley, and he took me under his wing and got me a trial at Oxford. I didn't think I was good enough to be a footballer, to be honest, and until I went on that trial. Because I think Oxford were in the second division as well. And when I saw the quality of the players there, I thought, well, yeah, I might have a chance of this. So anyway, they didn't want to know, and Walsall came in and signed me. And within 5 months, West Brom came in. I was fortunate enough to score a hat-trick against West Brom second 11 at Spring Road. And Don Howe, who I thought was a great manager because he signed me, like, you know.
Just shows about his knowledge and what he knows, doesn't it?
And he passed on everything, including his haircut, to me, you know. So I came to the Albion and played 5 seasons, 2 mainly in the team, and then was transferred to Leighton Orient. Had 5 years there, then Cambridge United, and ended up playing in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, my life in a nutshell. Of that.
So presumably you're going to say the Albion bit was the best part of your career.
Yes.
Good. We'll carry on with the programme, man.
Well, I think I met some of the most wonderful characters at West Brom. I mean, the old team from 1968 Cup Final, Jeff and Tony and Shove, sorely missed Shove. He was a great lad, Shove.
That's great.
Ozzy.
Lovely for the.
You know,
President,
there was so many characters in that side, and there was as many characters, I think, after I left. You know, Cyril came in and all these sort of people, and I obviously I still support them now, and I was just sad that team never won anything. You know, if any team was going to win anything, it was that team. But here I am today. I went Saturday, and I've been supporting them ever since I was 8 years old.
Excellent stuff. Now, you like a bit of reality as well. Reality, because you've done a bit of TV, haven't you? You're into the quizzes, aren't you? You did Coach Trip, and you've been on the Chase as well, haven't you?
Yeah. This is a change for me because most people forget my football career and go straight into the TV.
That's one of the quiz questions. Which quiz were you on?
Actually, I've been on 6 times on TV. But the girl I go on with, Nikki, she's been on 19 different times, you know. So.
Oh, right. What's the secret of getting onto them?
Well, the secret is you've got to have a personality, you know. So,
But they chose you.
So so there you go.
So Nicky's got one then.
No, I think the thing with them all is like as soon as you mention football, then they want to have a look, you know. And I know that's what got me on the Chase. Met Bradley, of course, you know, he's a great guy. Unfortunately, we never won anything there. Never won anything in my career. Never won anything on my TV appearances either. Yeah.
You did win a Coach Trip though, didn't you?
Oh, we won the Coach Trip. Yeah, we won a voucher for £600.
You don't like travelling on coaches?
No, but we had we got the brochure through, and it got 4 of us 2 days in Warwick, £600. So we gave it away to charity in the end. So.
Brilliant. Okie dokie. Now, tell us about yourself then, Alistair Robertson. Over 500 odd games. Don't tell us about every single game, but just give us a bit of an overview, because you obviously you were at the Albion as a schoolboy coming down from Scotland, and you ended up at lowly Wolves as they were at that stage. Then you brought them through and ended up playing at Wembley with the Wolves, didn't you?
Yeah. It's I was so lucky as a kid. I played for Scottish schoolboys, and I played for the local side, Uphall Saints, who were one of the best teams in the Edinburgh area. And through that, I got Rangers, Celtic, Tottenham, who else was it? All the top, Arsenal, Everton, Chelsea, had all the teams after me to sign. And my dad was desperate for me to sign for Rangers. But because I wasn't a confident kid, I didn't think I was good enough to go to all the big clubs. And it was so funny. When we played for Scottish schoolboys against England at Tottenham, we beat them 2-1, and the Tottenham manager took us upstairs, me and Graham Souness, and wanted to sign the 2 of us there and then. And Graham signed, but I wouldn't sign. I says, no. And then all the way along, the only scout I trusted or I felt good with was the Albion scout. Yeah. And that was the reason I signed for the Albion. And it broke my dad's heart. Because he said, you should have gone to Rangers, you should have gone. But anyway, I come down, and it was very hard to start with, because you don't realise you come away from your home in Scotland, and all of a sudden now you're on your own and you're in digs.
Because you're only, how old were you at the time? 15, yeah? Yeah.
And you come down and you're on your, I come from a big family. I've got 6 sisters, 5 brothers, there's 12 of us, and it was all brilliant to be part of, everyone, and we all loved each other. But they'd come down, and it's a horrible thing to say, but I'd never seen a black person, because we were in a little village in Scotland. I come down, and my digs were in Handsworth, and I thought, bloody hell. And we were told you couldn't go down Soho Road. But I used to go down Soho Road, and the laughs that we used to have with all the people down there. But then I was in digs with this lad called Dougie Findlater, who had come from Scotland. He was a Glasgow boy, but he come from a very rich family. And this one day we're in the digs, and he says to me, poor boy, do this. And I said to him, I went to him, I said, you ever call me that again and you're dead, mate. And about 2 weeks after, he says it again. And I grabbed him, put him on the bed, and I says, you're dead, tell you what. So I went to training next day. I went to Alan Ashman, I says, I need to move digs because I'm going to do something that I'm going to regret. And he moved me digs to Hilltop with Dave Hogg. And from then on, I just went like that. I got my promotion into the first team, which was unbelievable. Then I made my debut against Man United, and they flew my mum and dad down and everything. And it was just fantastic to be part of that. And you'll never forget it. People will say, well, what's your favourite game you've ever played in? Well, if you've made a debut in a game like that, that's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And it was so lucky. And we won. And it was on television. And they actually said they'd given me, the manager, Man United's manager at the time, actually went on the telly and said, that's one of the best debuts I've seen in a long time. So it was brilliant. And then just to be part of the Albion for 18 years, I think I played 600 odd games, 680 games in total, I think. But to finish how it finished was sad with the manager. It was sad that it finished like that. But it's like Joe says earlier, the one thing we all look back at, how we didn't win something. We got to 3 semi-finals. How we didn't win something, it all breaks our hearts, because we feel sorry for the fans because we let you down in every semi-final. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was Don Howe you were talking about, I think, wasn't it, when you were saying about the sad with the manager?
No.
Wasn't it?
Ron
Saunders, of course.
Mr. Saunders.
Sorry,
well,
Saunders, yeah.
He come in, and I was captain at the time. He come in, and George Wright put the team up on the board on the Friday, and they put 18 players on the board, and I went to George, I'm not on the thing. He went, I know. I went, oh. Then when I come into training Monday morning, the first team went up, the second team went up, and I went to George, where am I training? He says, you're on your own. I went, you what? So I kept on knocking his door, but he would never answer me. He would never answer me. And then I kept, the season finished, and I went, right, I'm going to prove him wrong. So I trained all through the summer, did everything. I says, right, come to pre-season training. I was doing everything, tackling, doing the lot, making sure. Never played. And then we played a game with the reserves away in London, just outside London. And at half time, they took off Garth Crooks and Emery Varady. And the coach, and I forget who's the name of the coach at the time, the Villa lad.
Big centre forward.
Yeah, and they took him. So at the end of the game, we actually won the game, and we had 10 young lads who had played absolutely brilliant, but all they started on about was giving Garth Crooks and Emery Varady that much abuse. And I said, excuse me, they're not here to defend themselves. I says, and these young kids have played brilliant, so why don't you tell these kids have been brilliant, and on Monday, give those two the biggest rollickings of their life. I says, because they deserve it. I come into training on the Monday morning, and Dave Matthews says to me, where are you getting transferred to? And I went, you what? He went, where are you getting transferred to? I says, why? He says, well, there's all your kit. And I went, you what? All my kit was put there. Next thing I know, the chairman come down and says, we're paying your contract up. You go now? And that to me was something that after being there for 18 years and giving your life to them, and for them just to go, there you go, sod you, out the door.
Oh, wow.
But then what was great for me, to go to the Wolves, which a lot of people didn't like and this whatever, but we went to the Wolves, we won the 4th division, 3rd division, got into the 2nd division, won the Shepherd Van at Wembley, absolutely fantastic. And when we left the Albion went 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and I went, serves you right, because what you did to me at that time, because I gave my life to the Albion. But even now I back them to the hill, and to me it's my home, and that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Amazing. You had a nice sequence of managers at the Albion. Remember the sequence of the names, the first names? The Ronnie,
Ron.
what was it?
You do
It was
Ron.
No, it's quite
Don Howard, John Giles, was it?
John Giles.
John Ron, as in Ronnie Allen.
Big Ron,
Right,
yeah.
Big Ron and Ron Atkinson.
Ron
Ron
Wiley.
Wiley.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
Ronnie
Nobby
Allen.
and Styles, and then of course Ron Saunders, wasn't it?
Because it was
Yeah.
quite funny. Me and Bomber, we used to have a right good laugh. Every manager that dropped me dropped Bomber, or every manager that dropped Bomber dropped me. and the two of us, we used to look at each other and say, what have we done to these managers? And we just used to have a good laugh. And we said, we'll prove them wrong. And we go back out and train.
And nowadays you're very much associated with the Albion again through the foundation.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you do there then.
Well, it's fantastic to be part of it. We help the Alzheimer's on a Wednesday morning, but John Hall and myself have done this for nearly probably 20 years. When I finished football, I became a business manager with BMW. But on a Thursday, that was my day off. Me and John used to go round all the hospitals then and help them. And then now at the Albion, we're doing that. It's fantastic to see and help those lads and those people that come to the game. And it makes your day, and it's fantastic to be part of it. And it's great that with the Albion, and then the hub in the afternoon, you see the supporters, you go in, you have a good talk with them all. And it's just great to be part of something to do with the Albion. And it just keeps us going. I'm getting an old man now. And it's just great to be, it gives me my little life. That the day that I go in there, it's just fantastic. It keeps you going, keeps everything going.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? What do you do with yourself these days?
Fishing. Golf. I go to the hub as well when I'm down here. You know, I come down quite regularly, and if I'm about on a Wednesday, I'll go and have a look, see what's going on at the hub. You know, just normal things that old people do, I suppose. You know, sort of wander about aimlessly around Uttoxeter. You know, and sometimes go to the races and all this sort of thing. Come to the Albion. We do a bit of talking at the Albion. You know, and that's really enjoyable, you know, to see the fans and what have you, and of course we've had to sort of be a little bit careful what we say sometimes after games. But Saturday was like, yeah, that's what we want to see. You know, we want to see that all the time. That sort of effort and that sort of you know, willing to do running for everybody and get results like that. You know, and like I said before, I honestly felt as if we looked a lot fitter for some reason. We shouldn't look fitter at this time of the year, I don't suppose.
But Joe, don't you think that was the same under Don Howe?
Yeah,
Don Howe trained us, and he ran us ragged every day of the week, which was supposedly make you fit. But we were all we looked not sharp at all. Johnny Giles came, and he didn't run us. He made us play all 5-a-sides in football games, and every one of us looked 10 yards quicker.
Yeah.
And every one of us felt fitter, and everyone lasted a game. When Don Howe was there, 70 minutes through the game, you were absolutely shattered, weren't you?
Yeah.
And but with Giles, at the end of the game, you were still, at 90 minutes, you were still running and doing everything that you should be doing.
Yeah, brilliant. So
See, that what happened to Alistair, that happened to me at Cambridge. We were doing stupid running during the week, and we kept losing games towards the end. You know, we were winning the first 3 or 4 games towards the end, and then we got beaten every one because we were shattered. And we had a meeting on this one Monday, and we kept saying, like, somebody's got to say something. Somebody's got to say something, you know. Because we just absolutely wrecked. Yeah. So anyway, it went all round the thing, and I was last. You know, nobody said anything. So he said, "What about you?" Well, he was Scottish, so what do you expect? You know. He said, like, "What do you think, Joe?" And I thought, well, tell him. So I said, like, I think we're training too hard. We've done too much. We're letting in goals at the end of the day. And he just turned around and went out the room, you know. The next day, he put 3 lots of training up. I wasn't on any of them. You're training on your own. And on the Saturday, put 3 teams up. John, I'm not on any of your teams. Yeah, go home. You're tired. Go on home. Yeah, you're right. I am. Oh, thanks very much. You know, but the whole team then, we were bottom of the league, and it made sense for him to get me out on loan somewhere. Unfortunately, Sam Ellis was manager of Blackpool, and John Docherty says, "How would you like to go to Blackpool?" And things got very facetious with us. You know, it was what a nice thing. And I said, "Are the illuminations on?" And he says, "Is that going to sway it?" I said, yeah, it will sway it. Yeah, if they're on, I'll go. And they were on, so I went. I know, you could do it in those days, you know. And anyway, I went and got fit, basically, and I had a big part. When I come back, he put me straight back into the side. And the goals I scored ended up keeping us in the division, you know. From bottom, we ended up halfway up the league. But the most fantastic thing happened at that time, I wouldn't change this for anything. Any Albion supporter out there, how about this one? My last match for Cambridge United was against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux. And we were a goal down in the 89th minute, and I scored an absolute cracker up the south end to make it 1-1. And it was the last kick I had in English football.
Really?
Yeah, so... Wow. God did look down on me once in there.
Be careful, we got Wolves supporters in the next studio. And Villa.
But for me, when you look back in the time at the Albion and everything, for me, Johnny Giles, Big Ron, brilliant managers. But for me, what Johnny Giles told us, and one day when he was telling us how we've got to do through the season, he says, always remember this, lads. On a Saturday, there'll be 1 or 2 of us not playing up to the standard. Now, just remember, that could be you. So don't rollick them, help them. Mm-hmm. Now, that was the opposite to Don Howe. Don Howe said if somebody's having a bad day, get down their throats and give them the biggest thing. Where Chelsea told us that, and you could tell the team spirit, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
somebody was playing badly, you helped them that much. They then picked back up again, and they were there. And that was the difference. That followed me all through my career. I took it to every manager that came when Chelsea left. Then Big Ron fitted in absolutely brilliant. Big Ron was the same. And it was great. And then when I went to the Wolves, exactly, I used to tell them all, now remember this on a Saturday. I used to tell them that. And that stuck with me all through her life because Chelsea was brilliant. He was brilliant.
Right, you're listening to the Throstle Club on Black Country Radio Extra, or Black Country Radio, or a little bit later on my website, tntnews.co.uk, or on Spotify and any other good podcast providers. This is the Throstle Club with Norman Bartlam and Bob Downing.
Isn't it nice listening to the radio and not hearing the same song over and over and over? This is Black Country Radio.
Right, now, this is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. It's not from Norwich, but we've got the knowledge. It's the quiz of the week.
Hey, with the quiz king here.
Right, so
Do we have to buzz in? Or
No,
what?
no,
Oh, yeah.
no.
you
Just
know.
shout
All
out
right.
the answers.
I'll just let you do the answers, Joe.
Right, so no pressure, quiz king.
Okay.
Right, quick fire this. See how it goes. Right, talking about 75-76 in the main. Right, so Ali, you played in all 42 games for that. So open it up. Just shout out the answers. Who was the only other player in the team that played in all 42 games?
John Weil.
No.
Tony Brown.
Ozzy.
No.
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy, yeah.
Ozzy.
Joe, Mayo.
Joe, that's Joe.
Yeah,
Right.
you'd expect.
Number 2.
Countdown.
Who won the league title that season in the first division? It was Liverpool under which manager?
Paisley.
Paisley. Yeah, who said
Bob.
Paisley? Bob. One
Bob,
for
go
Bob
on
there.
then.
Right.
Okay.
Albion, during the course of that season, signed one of Johnny Giles' mates, Paddy Mulligan, from where?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, correct. Oh, he's
Bob, what you
away.
had for your breakfast, mate?
Right, number 4. 3 years after winning the FA Cup, Sunderland were around, getting promoted. Who was their manager?
Bob Stoker.
Bob Stoker, indeed.
Oh,
Yep. Right. Sunderland were promoted with the Albion, of course. In which other team got promoted?
Bristol City.
Bristol City.
Oh,
Yes.
Hey, he's got a good memory.
Well,
hasn't
he's
he?
doing well. He's doing well. Now,
Have you got him
Albion.
written on your collar? or something?
Who was Albion's top league scorer that season?
Tony Brown.
Tony
No.
Brown. No, it was
Ali Brown.
It was Ali Brown.
Yeah,
It-
Ali
right,
Brown.
he got 10 goals
what,
to
11
Tony's
goals.
8.
Was it
Yeah.
11?
Yeah.
Oh, bonus, 2 bounce points for
Give him
us
a
there. 2
bonus
bounce
there then.
points, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you better give him something.
Now, who won his first managerial title with 4th Division champions Lincoln City?
Big Ron.
No.
Taylor.
Graham Taylor.
Graham Taylor.
Correct. Right, how are we
We
doing there,
can't live
Bill?
with this here, Billy, can we? Hey?
5 for Joe, 2 for Alistair, 2 for Bob.
Wow, there we go then. A couple more to go then. Albion replaced relegated Burnley, Sheffield United, and which other team went down from the 1st Division that season, Ali? Ali?
What in
Wolves.
Wolves?
Wolves.
Yeah.
Yep, give that one to Ali. Yep.
It's 2 for that.
Right, FA Cup winners
2 because he's Scottish.
for 1970.
And he
Two
played for
cut the
Scottish
Scottish. Go on then.
schoolboys, yeah,
Okay. Oh, he's
so
played
2.
for schoolboys. That's worth a bonus.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another one. then.
1976. Who won the FA Cup?
Southampton.
Southampton. Yeah, point for Joe. And who did they beat?
Arsenal.
Man
No,
United.
Man United. Ooh.
Was it Bob?
Bob was just in there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Which former World Cup winner did West Brom sign?
Jeff Hurst.
Jeff Hurst.
Flipping
Oh,
heck, he's good.
well away. And
I'm just.
I was reading up
he's
last
just
night.
quick.
Yeah, he's lip reading, and
I've got the programme here.
He's just so quick.
Right,
I
He's
was
lip
just
reading.
Jeff
Tell you what,
so
I'll give
quick.
Alice
I've never been called that.
because
Let's
Joe's
just-
lip reading.
That's
So I've
it.
got to give him
That's
2.
it. Give him 2 for that then. Yeah.
Jeff Hurst
I was
when he
so
came.
quick.
When he came,
when,
I went up to him and says, "You're a twat."
Really?
Like,
Oh, well, that's
No,
worth a bonus.
it is, but we don't normally
Because
say that on the
I
radio.
can
but-
remember as a kid, watching the cup final. They're playing against Germany. Germany scored, and I jumped up. Yes! My old man whacked me down
really?
there. Don't you ever jump up for against. They're playing against England. Germany bombed us.
1, 2, 3,
Go
4,
for it.
5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll give Alistair 2. That's 7 each.
7 each.
7 each.
Ooh, we need a couple of tiebreakers there.
Look, he's a quiz master.
Okay, right.
Put it this way: ask the lads. Did Ali ask a question? Don't be.
Right. Johnny Giles during the course of the season was fined £25.
Luton.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good, this bloke.
It was
Yeah.
the best tackle.
Yeah,
And
we'll
it
talk
was-
about that.
What it was the two brothers. His brothers had done him at Man City. He was in Man City, wasn't he?
Was he?
And he'd been waiting 3 years to get them back.
Yeah, that's worth a bonus for the skill.
Yeah,
So
give
bringing
him
the
two
scores
points for
to
that.
8 each.
8 each. One
And
tiebreaker
Bob with 3.
tiebreaker then
It's gotta be
between
six. This is going to be
between the
real.
two
Okay.
on 8 points each. Right, a difficult one then.
I'll tell you the answer, Al. Okay.
Right, during the course of the season, although he played in goal pre-season, he didn't feature in the league. Who was that?
Gordon Lisbon. I ain't got my glasses. I said it.
Who is it?
Say it again.
So,
Say the question again.
goalkeeper.
A goalkeeper.
He played in goal in pre-season, but didn't actually play in the league.
Latchford. No, Jim Coombs.
Bob.
Bob
Bob
Ward.
Bob Wood. Bob Woods. Oh, so Ali.
Couldn't you read
Ali.
that?
Can't see it.
Ali gets it.
tiebreaker. Ali gets it there. Oh, stormed it.
Bob
You
Ward.
saw it on my sheet, but
And he,
you
went,
haven't got
and,
your
he
glasses
went,
in.
and he went to Blackpool.
Blackpool.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it used to be
So-
when I used to drive to Scotland.
Okay, you've won.
All right, so that's it. No more
Illumination.
bonus
I
marks.
used
So
to go-
the
I
final
used to go
scores
in-
then. Final scores.
I used to go in.
Oh, sorry. On a tiebreak, Ali got 9 and Joe's got 8.
There's a
Bob's
Susan
got
Quarry
3.
with that, I'm
Whey.
afraid.
Yes,
So there we
Susan
are. Round of
Quarry.
applause then for Ali.
I think we need
No, I-
VAR.
This is the Throstle Club with Norman Bartlam and Bob Downing. Right, so as I said at the top of the programme, it's 50 years. Can you believe it's 50 years since Albion gained promotion at the end of 1975-76 with a stunning last gasp victory, as they say, at Boundary Park in Oldham with Tony Brown getting that winning goal. So a remarkable season. Chaps, so let's go through it. At the start of the season, of course, Don Howe had gone. He went about 2 or 3 games before the end of the season, previous season, I think, didn't he? And Johnny Giles came in. It was during the close season as well. So how did you find out that he'd been appointed?
Read it in the Express and Star.
Yeah.
With a story by Bob Downing.
Like we would never know. You just read we've been told Johnny Giles has got to be manager, and we're all thinking Johnny Giles because we knew how great a player he was for Leeds, and you're thinking, what on earth is he coming to the Albion for? That's how we were thinking.
Yeah.
But to be fair to John, he come in, and he just settled in straight away. He told us exactly what he wanted us to do, but where the other managers and that were like Don Howe and that, coaching wise great, where Don was great was a man manager. He was absolutely brilliant, and he used to tell us, "I'll tell you once, I'll tell you twice. If I have to tell you a third time, you'll be out the team." And that's how he was, and it was brilliant to be part of that. And through a game, he never changed a thing. He just played, and how many times you could give him the ball, and he'd ping it 30, 40 yards. His passing and everything was unbelievable. Then you realise how great a player, because he was at Leeds. And we were lucky to get that last few years of him.
It was interesting, because I was covering them for the Star then, and it was interesting to see how the thing went. And Ali and Joe will tell you that no matter where you had the ball, if you were looking for a way out,
Pass it
he
to
was
him.
there.
Yeah.
He'd always, if Ali went into a tackle, John Wall went into a tackle, and the ball ran loose, you could bet your bottom dollar that Jolsey was around there somewhere.
Yeah.
The same way when Joe was up front, if Joe got the ball and was looking to lay it off, he knew exactly where Jolsey would be,
Yeah.
and that's what it was so good about. But as I said before, I mean, they were playing under him. I was working with him basically, not doing tactical or anything like that, but it was like a working relationship. and he was absolutely brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant with us, with the press lads.
How did you find out that Jaws was going to be appointed?
He was doing the rounds. Leeds had told us first. The lad who covered Leeds, he sort of gave us the wink that things were moving. Albion weren't saying anything. I phoned Bert Milichip a couple of times, and he just sort of said, "Well, we've got no comment on that just at the moment." But then they could come out with the announcement that Johnny Giles was going to be the new manager, the player manager, and we thought then, player manager. But you think at it again, and you think, well, hang on a bit. They're getting a bloke who was manager of the Republic of Ireland team, and they're getting a midfield maestro from Leeds United. Why not combine the two? You've got to, and that's what he did, and he was absolutely brilliant. He wouldn't stand messing. Now, when I used to travel with the team. I was lucky enough to travel with the team, and that was because of Alan Everest and some of the others. But I had to get permission off Johnny first, and he had no problem. I always remember one game, because you got on that coach, and you heard a lot of things. You never said what was going on. What happened on the coach stayed on the coach, and that was the rule. We were coming. I think it was Crystal Palace, and Albion had missed a few chances, and George Wright. We were on our way back from London. George Wright came down the coach, and he said, "Okay, lads, boss wants you in on Sunday." And I remember Bomber Brown saying, "Sunday?" And he said, "Yeah, he wants you all in on Sunday." And as he was going back to the coach, another one of the players said, "What are we going in Sunday for, George?" He said, "It's just a bath. He just wants you in there, in the bath, and we can talk. He wants to talk." And they said, "Yeah, okay then." Unfortunately, there was another pressman on that coach, and I heard the same thing about him. It's just a bath. But I wouldn't have done anything anyway. I never said they were going in on the Sunday. But this other guy came out on the Monday night and said that Johnny Giles had ordered the players in for shooting practice. He assumed it would be for shooting practice, and from that moment he stopped that.
He was never allowed on the bus.
He was never allowed on the bus again.
Yeah, interesting.
But that was the one great thing about John. I always remember he started. After 2 weeks training, he pulled me in his office and he says, "Right, I know you've not. I want to know why you weren't playing last season." And I said, "Well, the manager didn't pick me." He says, "Well, I'm telling you now, you're in my team, and I want you to be part of it." And I couldn't believe that he told. And that was, to me, like I say, I never missed a game. To me, that was the biggest thing for me, that he wanted me in his side, and he actually told me that, and that was. I gave 110% every game.
Again, good man management.
Yes.
Yep. He brought in some of his mates, though, didn't he? At the start, help. He got Paddy Mulligan in and Mick Martin.
Yeah.
But they
And
made
Ray Tracy.
Ray Tracy as well. That's
But
some
what
of the Irish lads.
What was great with that, those three come in and settled in the dressing room straight away, and it was just you'd thought you'd been there forever, hadn't you?
Yeah.
And they just fitted in. And the laughs that we all used to have in the dressing room was brilliant. And those laughs make the commitment on the park.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like.
Was there any doubts, though? Because we only won one out of the first 10 games, didn't we?
Yeah. But John kept on saying, "Come on, keep doing it." He wouldn't change a thing, did he? Did he, John?
No, yeah.
He made sure everything was still the same. And he says, "Don't worry, it'll come, it'll come." Then all of a sudden, we just went like that.
Well, if I remember when John came to the club, his last game was in the European Cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And when he came and did some training with us, I mean, he was 35, was he, at the time? Something like that. And we had a cross-country. And I thought, oh, he'll struggle with this. But he was up the front. He was up there with Pop, Pop Roberston and that, And like Alistair said, he had an Irish sense of humour, John did. I remember playing golf with him over at Sandwell, and I hit this ball into the bakery. And he said, "Oh, you've sliced that." Again, I played the first match away at Southampton, and I think we missed a week or so of pre-season through him coming backwards and forwards and that, and we got beat 3-0, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
and
3-0, yeah.
I got left out the side, but then after 10 games, when there was nothing going on, he called me into the office and he said, like, "Oh, you'll be playing on Saturday." And you'll be taking the place of a fella that scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final. Do you think you can do it? I said, I'll give it a go, boss. You know, there you go. That was how he was. He was a funny lad, and still is. He still is a funny guy now, you know. And I think that helped. That game at Oldham, I know you're probably going to come to that, but the lads, when we were travelling up the motorway, we thought, oh my God, look at all these fans coming up here. But we didn't feel one bit of pressure through John. He never put any pressure on us, and we knew.
Yeah, we'll certainly come to Oldham a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we knew
Yeah.
that we were going to be okay. You know, he'd been through it all before, and he was like, he'd settled us all down, and we knew there was only going to be one result, even though we would have liked to score 2 or 3 goals up there. It didn't matter. We got the result we wanted. You know.
Yeah.
But that was the same with John. When we played at Ipswich, and we got beat 7, and we're all thinking, we went on the bus, driving back home.
Yeah.
He went to the driver, stop at the next pub. So we stopped at the next pub. We all had a few beers. He bought how much beer on the bus. We all got home, and as we got off the bus back at West Brom, he just says, lads, coming to training Monday morning, this will never be mentioned. Come on, we just need to get back up. Never mentioned it, was it?
No,
never mentioned
mentioned
at
again.
all. But what we didn't realise was his birthday. It was his
Oh, was
birthday,
it? Yeah.
and we didn't realise that.
Yeah.
And but to be fair, the next week's training, nothing changed, and it was never brought up that we'd been
I
beaten.
remember that match because I had to do some freelance work for an Irish newspaper. Because it was Johnny Giles, they wanted every Albion match, so I did a bit of freelance work for them. And at the end of the game, I had to give the score out and the report. And I remember the copy taker saying to me, "Okay, you ready?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Scoreline: Ipswich Town 7, West Bromwich Albion 0." And he went, "Oh my mother of God!" I said, "It gets worse."
Not a great moment, but that was the following season, wasn't it? That was
Yeah,
76,
yeah.
77.
Yeah.
But that just summed up Giles.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Now we mentioned the other side of his character earlier on with the Luton game when he got himself sent off, didn't he?
He apologised. he did at half time. He did apologise, but he just says, "I've been waiting 3 years for this," because they had done him like when he played, and he says they were at Manchester and he was at Leeds, and he said, "I've been waiting for this for 3 seasons. I could not do it, and I do apologise." And that was him. But it was never mentioned again, was it?
No, but
But the tackle. Oh.
You'd have been proud of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but blimey. So after the bad start that we had, we picked up a bit. We had 3 wins on the trot, I think, didn't we? And Willie Johnston scored goal of the season at Blackpool, and that really set Albion up after that. So it must have been brilliant to play with Willie because he was up to all sorts of things, wasn't
crackers.
he? Because the end of the previous season, it was. I think it wasn't it after Don Howard gone, the players relaxed a little bit more. And that was the game when he came on with the mask, wasn't it? Do you remember when he came on?
He came
wearing
on
the mask?
with the ball up his shirt as well, the one, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And he bought the
I think
greenhouse.
I think Willie was one of those
Well,
players
given one.
like don't do that, and he was just had to do it, and trying to keep up with him, with his speed down the line and trying to get on the end of some of his crosses was. Well, I was never going to do it really, but he was another sort of funny lad, wasn't he? We had so many, there were so many funny lads, in that team, and I think again that's probably what got us through the whole thing, the promotion. But things fell into place. I think Bolton got beat at home by bottom of the league, and it just put it in our hands when it hadn't been all season. You know, so, and fair play, we just grabbed hold of it, really, didn't we?
But what was great for me, being a Rangers fan, Willie was one of my heroes. So when he come into the ground and he was in the dressing room, I used to get his boots, polish his boots from Dover, and he used to say, "You're a player the same as me." No, you're Willie. You're my hero. You're my hero. And in the games, he was absolutely mad as a hatter. But then everybody used to say, "Well, what was he like off the pitch?"
Yeah, exactly the same.
Come now, completely different. Off and go now, quiet lad.
Yeah.
He'd be the one, quiet one, and people say, "Is that Willie Johnson?" Yeah. But on the park, he just made things happen, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was brilliant.
Very polite guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, with the fans and that and everything. Not with players he played against. He wasn't very polite to them. But off the pitch, he was a very polite lad. You know.
Yeah. Coming up towards the run, you mentioned about Bristol City, didn't we? We lost 1-0 at home then. And you didn't have any doubts, even though we'd lost that game, because we then played Bolton, who was second, I think, after, and won that in the next game. And we're back on track again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got a double over Bolton, didn't we? And they were the team that we had to beat, really, to get promotion. You know?
But at that time, we didn't. The start of the season, yes, we frightened. We weren't sure about going out against any team. But once we started to play well, and we kept on playing well, we weren't frightened of anything, were we?
No.
We went out expected to win, and it showed that we were there expecting to win. Mm-hmm. And it's like Giles used to say, "Give nothing away, and we'll get the goals." Mm-hmm. And that's how it was.
And it was, like you say, it was still calmness leading up to and travelling up to Oldham on that day.
Well, not so much.
Because of the bus.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I travelled with the team, and Alan already said they were leaving at Hawthorns at 9:30. So we all got on the bus, and we went to a hotel in Lim for a pre-match meal. And normally David Matthews, God rest him, and who was the coach driver?
Derek.
Yeah. Derek. Sometimes if it was sort of close at hand, they'd take the bus into the ground, get the kit all out, and then come back for the players to take them. But because Derek knew that there was that many going up, they decided that they were going to stay with the coach. And then we got on the M62. I think it was M62 or something. And the queue to get off at Oldham was horrendous.
Yeah. And
the time when we thought the team would be changing on the bus, because they got to get the team in by 2:30.
Eventually, yeah.
And they thought they got to get changed on the bus.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we had a JP who was secretary of the Albion, Alan Everett, and he told Derek to go up the hard shoulder.
Go up the hard shoulder, did he? Yeah.
Derek went up the hard shoulder, waiting for him at the top was a police inspector. Said, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Fortunately, again, Mr. Everett went to the front of the coach, had a few words with the policeman, and we had a police escort in.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we've only got a few minutes left, unfortunately, folks. So just tell us a little bit about the match itself. What do you remember?
All I remember was, like we've mentioned earlier, in the bus going into the ground, we couldn't believe how many Albion fans were there, and we were all sitting on the bus. Are we at home or away? And it was absolutely brilliant. And to go, we knew what it meant to everybody. But that's where Jowsey kept us all down there. And we went out, we played the game, we won it. And like you think how fantastic that is. And it was just brilliant to see the fans and Jowsey and all the team. It was fantastic just to be part of it. And it was great.
I think what was brilliant about it was that Bombers scored the winner, and he was born about a mile from
exactly. Yeah.
So, and like I say, it's just like destiny, really. That the whole thing fell into place, and he got the final goal. You know.
That's what. Well, Bomber had said earlier in the season that Johnny Giles had revitalised his career.
Yeah.
And then there's great celebrations coming back as well. So wasn't it?
Was it?
You had a bit of a thick head the next morning. You can't remember it.
Can't remember, no.
All I can remember is that the coming back along the motorway, there was that many cars with blue and white scarves and what have you. hanging out the window. Derek actually overtook.
Took most of it.
He overtook cars that had overtaken him earlier on because they wanted
They were
to
sort
get
of
both
zigzagging
sides of
it
the
out.
coach.
To see folks,
But it was just brilliant for a player to be on the bus, but to see the fans how they all were was unbelievable.
And there was thousands waiting for it at the Hawthorns as well, wasn't there?
And I think that's one thing that I'll always say about the Albion fans. I've been so lucky. I always used to think, as long as you give 100%, they'll back you to the hilt.
Yeah.
And that's all through my career. That's how it's been with me with the Albion fans. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, there's a great opportunity to share memories again with the fans with this dinner coming up soon, isn't there? So it's something you're both looking forward to, I dare say.
Seeing the lads again, it'd be great, wouldn't it? You know, hope everybody can make it.
But for me, I think it's great that we've got the former players, and that sticks together. And it's great to keep everybody and all the former players involved. And it's great. And for this night, for that, because again, it's the youth team as well. And it will be great for every one of us to get together. And we've not seen some of them we've not seen each other for a few years.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Well, it's interesting because we haven't had time to mention the youths because they did exceedingly well, as Mr. Kipling would have said that season as well, didn't they? Yeah. So some of those folks will be at that dinner as well, I think, won't they?
Yeah.
So it'll be really good. Well, very much hope you've enjoyed that. I certainly have. Time's gone really quickly, hasn't it?
It has gone quick, yeah.
That.
Lovely, interesting to the stories.
Yep. So in the final minute we've got, how's the season going to pan out then? Albion going to survive this season?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think for me, this is us with Jowsey. The first 10, 12 games we were absolutely abysmal. And then we started to win and we went on a run. So I hope we can do the same now.
Yeah. If they show the same commitment as we did on Saturday, that'll be it. No problem.
Most important thing is they've turned the fans.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
They're no longer singing "You're not fit to wear the shirt." It was Jimmy.
Yeah. Morrison.
Brilliant. Well, there we are then. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Throstle Club. I've certainly enjoyed presenting it and researching it. And we'll be back next month to start our 4th year of programmes on the Throstle Club. So thanks for listening and goodbye. This is the Throstle Club with Norman Bartlam and Bob Downing.
Live from the Black Country, online, on your mobile,